I think at its core level, money, getting money, I think we all think, and I even think, that's the problem. If I just had money, then this idea would work. But actually, the idea has to work. It has to work in market, and money is part of it, and still a critical part of it. But I think at Thankyou, we over-index on the creativity and on finding ways to prove an idea and then scale that idea. And so it's been a discipline, but it's meant we've been profitable over 14 years, and not just growing at a revenue line, which at times is easier, but growing at a profit line and maintaining that. So I love the discipline, even though it hasn't been easy. We wrote the book. The book is titled Chapter 1. And like you said earlier, we love launching videos. So after we landed both supermarkets, we were scaling. We had a whole bunch of new product development ideas. We wanted to take Thankyou to New Zealand as a test case. But to do that, we needed more money. We didn't have it. We've got enough to kind of run the existing operation, but where do you get that blue sky funds from? And so we had this idea. We wrote the book. And you know, on a personal note, this idea came after a weekend of prayer, a weekend of fasting, a weekend of like which way forward. And this idea, I feel like dropped. It was so abstract. And the idea, I remember writing down, write a book titled Chapter 1. And all the profit from Chapter 1 will fund Chapter 2, the future of Thankyou. And this is an idea about not just raising money, but the reader becoming that social philanthropic investor in the future of this mission. And the only problem with books is they don't make much money. And at the time, it was shown that a bestseller in Australia is 5,000 copies. In New York Times, a bestseller is 5,000 copies a week for 3 weeks. So we were like, oh, so, and how much do you make? You make about $1 to $10 a book. So we're thinking, oh, 50,000, we need more than that. So we set this ambitious target with Chapter 1 to raise 1.2 million. That was our target. We launched the book, When You Know This, but at a pay what you want price. And this is about, back at a consumer level, saying to our community, how much do you want to contribute to the future of this idea? In the video, we said we're launching into New Zealand and into the baby category. And thankfully, people went pretty crazy for it. In the first 2 hours, we raised $360,000. In the first 28 days, we hit 1.44 million. So we smashed that target. And, you know, it was interesting because some people did pay 10 cents and 5 cents, or in America, a few pennies. And we joke that we have their addresses online, but we actually have their addresses. So we know who these people are. But at the other end, we had people pay 1,000 and 7 and 10. The most was an order that came a year in, $50,000 for one copy. And that book continues to sell. And it's raised a lot of money, about 2.5, just on 2.6 million now, that we can use to help scale and grow. But the bit I didn't see coming, and this is where I say I feel like this idea was not our own. That book has opened more doors than I can describe. The book, it traveled. People handed it to people who handed it to people. And our global expansion, and one day a book called Chapter 2, will probably just be a collection of stories of what happened the day we launched that book.